morning. We're back. So PHR208. This is our homework, week 3, Tuesday. Did any guys start on the brand generic? Let's see. What's that? Yeah, code's on the board. Retain. So all you gotta do is follow 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 are done. 0, 1, and 2 are done. We're on 3. So all you gotta do is look up here. So anytime you're lost, just let me know. I'll point you to exactly what's going on. So we are here. The access code is there, just like always. All right, number 1, brand and generic, week 3. Do you guys remember what symbol chord was from the blended assignment? So which one was it? Udecimi for multiple. Let's see, Lovenex. The only other one with an X in the generic is noxaparin. So this is a heparin. Thins your blood after you had a blood clot. Prevents further one. Androgel. So this is going to be an androgen. So the male hormone is testosterone. Avenex. Did you guys find that one? It's the interferon. So if you have an immune disorder, they'll give you these immune agents. Another insulin, Novolog. This is Aspart. So different types of insulin. We had a different one last week. Seroquel. So here we got quetiapine. That's an antidepressant. Has a QUE. Kind of helps you out there. Viagra. Sildenafil. Nasonex. So that is it. This one? Mometazone. Nasonex. That means Flovent is fluticasone. That's the commercial. If you guys ever seen it. And Core is the name that will help you. And that's going to be Tamba. Where is it? Phenofiber. Yeah. So that's going to be a cholesterol med. All right. So not too bad. Make your flashcards top 100. We'll start with number 2. So our equation is 9C equals 5F minus 160. So for 2, we're going from Fahrenheit to Celsius. For number 3, we're going from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So a little bit different in the algebra steps. But number 2, anytime we see an F, we're going to plug in negative 100. So be careful of your negative signs. Minus 100, minus 160. All right, so since we plugged in the negative 100, let's go ahead and simplify that guy. So we got 9C equals negative 500 minus 160. So what does 9C equals? 660. Yep, so negative 660. And then to get C by itself, divide both sides by 9. So don't forget your negative sign. And we're rounding to the nearest 1 decimal place, nearest tenths. So we'll do 660 divided by 9. 73.7. Make sure you round to the appropriate decimal place. Negative. Oh, yeah. Good looking out. So don't forget your negative sign. I just reminded you and forgot.
So you put 973.3?
Negative.
Yeah.
Negative, yeah. Negative. So that's...
How could we not round to 73?
Here this says round to the nearest tenth. So you got to follow the directions of the question. So you can't just choose whatever place you want to round to. You got to round to the place on the question, right? So 1 decimal point means round to the nearest tenths. All right, this time we are going from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So we'll use the same equation, but we're going to have to plug in 45 for C. So 9 times 45 equals 5F minus 160. So let's punch that in. So 9 times 45, it's going to give us 405 equals 5F minus 160. So to get 160 on its own, let's go ahead and add 160 to both sides. So 5F comes out to 565, and then we divide both sides by 5. 565 divided by 5, so I think we'll get a whole number. Yep, 113. So we'll just enter in 113. Alright, order and supply problems. All you gotta do is put the order over supply, or order over supply times the amount. Now, in order to use this trick, your order and supply must be in the same units. So if they're not in the same units, this trick may or may not work for you. So number 4, our order is 500 milligrams. Our supply comes 125 milligrams, but that amount is going to be 5. So that last number we're going to put there in the amount column. So our order is 500 milligrams. Our supply is 125 milligrams per 5 mLs. 5 mLs is our amount. So make sure your units are the same. So we got milligrams on top. It's going to cancel out the milligrams at the bottom. Now we just simplify. 500 divided by 125 times 5. How many mLs per dose? 20. So order over supply times the amount. Number 5, we got to figure out how much to dispense. The doctor gave us EDS, estimated day supply. The doctor gave us 30-day supply. We just got to figure out how many tablets to give him. So order over supply. So per dose. This is just per dose right here. So how much drug is ordered per dose? Yeah, you gotta look in the SIG. So unlike this one where we just labeled it, here you gotta look and find it. So it's 50 milligrams per dose. And how does our supply come? 25 milligrams per tab. So we're good. Our units cancel out. We know we need to administer 2 tablets per dose. So we got 2 tablets. How many times a day are they taking 2 tablets? QID? 4 times a day. And they're doing this for how many days? 30 days. So you just multiply. So take 2 tablets times 4 times a day for 30 days. How many tablets will this patient need? 240. So you'll just enter in the final amount, 240. Six, we'll do the same way. How much drug is ordered per dose? Yeah, based on the SIG, you'll need 125 milligrams per dose. Our supply is given here, 125 milligrams per 5 mLs. Per 5 mLs. So per dose, we will need to deliver 5 mLs. That's per dose. 5 mLs per dose. They're going to take this drug every 8 hours. How many doses is that? 3 times. And it's going to be for 15 days worth. So take 5 mLs per dose times 3 doses in a day for 15 days. Yep. So 225 mLs is ordered per day. All right, some questions. This one comes from number 7, comes from hospital. So, what is the acceptable turnaround time for ASAP orders? How many minutes? 15? Ooh, what is stat then? Stat is 15 minutes or less. ASAP, not life-threatening, it's going to be 1 hour. Reasonable time is within 1 hour. So for nurses, to them, everything is stat. But unless it's life-threatening, it's not going to be stat. Number 8. What dispensing system is used to fill IV medications in the hospital? Do we use a 3-day fill? Do we make IVs for 3 days? Do we make IVs only when they need it? Do we fill them a day supply or do we fill them a week supply? In the hospital. What type of system do you use? PRN. What's that? PRN as needed? So right now you got 18, you got 1,000 beds and 70 of them needs a med. So you're going to make them all right now. Go for it, go. I need 70 right now. 3 minutes later, I need another 34. So PRN, how do we fill cassettes? What is the Unidose system fill for? Hospital, the patient drawers. How many days supply do we fill them? 1 day, which is 24 hour. IVs are just like patient cassette meds. We fill tomorrow's dose today. That way they have them ready for tomorrow. And today we return and credit anything that is not used from yesterday. So 24-hour dispensing of IVs in the hospital. Number 9. Now that you understand tonicity, half NS. What is that? Is that hyper? Hypo? Or ISO? Is it too high, too low, or just right? Too low. Very good. Because NS is balance. That means half of that is way too low. What about D5W? Is it balanced, too high, or too low? It's balanced, right? So the two balance is NS and D5. If D5 is balanced, then D70 must be too much, too concentrated, hypertonic. All right, very good. So it's relative to our blood. So blood has about 300 milliosmoles. So just remember that number. That's how much is in blood. 10. For us, coconut water, what was it? For us, this was balanced. Emergency IV fluid. It was sterile. Contains sugar and a lot of electrolytes. What did we say about seawater? Way too salty, so hyper. And then if you inject water directly into your veins, that would be too diluted, hypotonic, right? That one's similar. Question 11. Select the small volume parenterals. Are vials with rubber closure small? Yeah? Little tiny drug vials?
Oh, yeah.
Vials with rubber closures. How about a TPN? Are they small or big? They're big. Ampules? Small. How about 250? Big. How about a liter? How about mini? Small. How about, what's a PLS? Pre-loaded syringe. So PLS. So is that big or small? Small. Yeah. Biggest syringe is usually about 60 mLs. Can you add insulin to a TPN? Yeah, are we going to put sugar in their veins? Yeah, sugar in their veins. That's what a TPN is, right? Food in your veins. So if you put sugar in their veins, they're going to need some insulin. So yeah, you can put insulin. You can put insulin. But can you add antibiotics? Is antibiotics part of nutrition? What do antibiotics treat? Infection, right? TPN is nutrition. So no, antibiotics are not nutrition. So we can't add antibiotics for any reason. 14. What's the verb for a TPN? What would you use for a big old bag? Yeah, you'll be in a bag, right? So TPNs are in a bag, so the verb would be infuse. All right, so this is looking ahead to finishing up the lecture. So how often are hoods certified? So if I said every 6 months, which of the following is the same as every 6 months? With an A, right? So make sure you use the one with an A. The one with the E, biannually, is every 2 years. So just be careful. Every 6 months is biannually. Twice a year. ISO class 5. I'll draw a little picture. So the space that they're measuring is a cubic foot. So find the term that has 1 cubic foot. And you'll know you're not allowed to have any more than 100 particles that are 0.5 microns or larger. So that's the specification. So look for the description that has all three. 1 cubic foot, 100 particles, no bigger than 0.5 microns. So cubic foot, so you can knock out the meter ones. So it's no more than 100 particles, 0.5 microns or larger within a cubic foot. So that is ISO class 5. We'll go over this definition again on Thursday. 17. That rubbing alcohol you use, what strength should it be?
70%.
Rubbing. Isopropyl alcohol. That should be 70%. That's what we'll use to clean in the IV room. That gives the best drying time. 18. What classification is required for BSC? So BSC is a biological safety cabinet. And this is where we mix chemo. So it needs to be at least class 2. That way you won't be exposed to the toxic chemicals. All right. 19.
What was that?
What's what?
The one?
Dos. Right here. Circled it. Put it on the board. You paying attention? It's right there. Oh my God. Open your eye. Yeah. Level 2. Class 2. Now you're going to have to open your ears. HIPAA. What does HIPAA stand for? You have a HIPAA filter in your car. Yeah, very good. High efficiency particulate air. High efficiency particulate air. Who is USP? We already know what US stands for. United States. Kind of like an encyclopedia, but for drugs. There you go. Very good. Pharmacopoeia. United States Pharmacopoeia. P-E-I-A. Pia. Pharmacopoeia. P-E-I-A. United States Pharmacopoeia. LVPs. Large. Pharmacopoeia. Pharmacopoeia. P-E-I-A. What's an LVP? Yeah, large volume parental. Large volume parental. LVP, large volume. So that makes SVP, small volume. So for us, we'll just follow the text. 100 mLs or more, large volume. Under 100 mLs will be small volume parentals. '23. SDV. Preservatives or no preservatives? What does SDV stand for? Can I do it once or many times? Yeah, there you go. So SDV will be single dose vial. Preservative free. Use it. And then you got to toss out the remaining amount. SDV is single dose vial. So MDV would be multi-dose vial. So don't worry about the spelling. I'll check it. Sometimes you'll put a hyphen, sometimes not. So I'll go in and I'll look at them. Is that the last one? All right. What's a TPN? Nutrition. Yeah, there you go. So TPN is total parental nutrition. All right. Double check your responses. Submit review. And then try to do your second attempt as soon as you can.